Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome back to the Graduate School Prep Series. This video addresses one of the most underestimated aspects of graduate school applications, timeline planning. Most applicants significantly underestimate how long the process takes. They start too late, rush their materials, and submit applications that don't represent their best work. Some miss deadlines entirely because they didn't build in enough buffer time. The best applications aren't written, they're crafted over months of thoughtful preparation. Strong statements of purpose go through multiple drafts. Recommenders need adequate time to write compelling letters. Research into programs requires more than a weekend of browsing. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive framework for planning your application year, understanding what needs to happen when, and building in the contingency time that prevents last-minute disasters. Here's what you'll learn. First, you'll create a comprehensive timeline for graduate school applications, understanding the full scope of what needs to happen from initial research through final submission. Second, you'll identify key milestones and deadlines for each application component. Different elements have different lead times and different dependencies. Understanding these helps you prioritize. Third, you'll allocate appropriate time for each stage of the process. The common mistake is giving everything equal time. Some components deserve more attention, some have fixed time requirements. Fourth, you'll develop contingency plans for common timeline disruptions. Life happens. Build plans that survive the unexpected. Let's start with the big picture. Let me give you the big picture first. The ideal timeline starts 12 to 15 months before you intend to enroll. If you want to start graduate school in fall of next year, begin your preparation the previous summer, about 15 months before enrollment. The minimum recommended timeline is about 9 months before application deadlines, not enrollment. Since deadlines are typically December through February for fall enrollment, this means starting the previous spring at the latest. A rush timeline of 6 months or less is possible but not recommended. You can technically pull together applications quickly, but quality suffers. Rush statements, last-minute recommender requests, and insufficient research lead to weaker applications. Earlier starts enable better outcomes for several reasons. You have time for multiple drafts, you can contact faculty and have meaningful exchanges, you can request recommendations properly, you can address any gaps in your preparation. Time is your friend in this process. Phase 1 spans months 12 through 9 before your target deadline. This is your research and decision phase. Confirm that graduate school is right for you. Work through the framework we discussed in our first video. Assess your motivations, readiness, and the career necessity of the degree you're considering. Better to decide against graduate school now than after investing months in applications. Determine what type of degree you need. Master's or doctoral, research-focused or professional, MPH or .RPH. These decisions shape everything that follows, from which programs to research to how you frame your applications. Research programs systematically using the strategies we discussed. Cast a wide net initially. Look beyond prestigious names to programs that genuinely fit your interests and goals. Create a preliminary list of 15 to 20 programs for further investigation. You'll narrow this list as you learn more, but starting broad ensures you don't miss excellent options. Phase 2 spans months 9 through 6 before deadlines. This is your deep investigation phase. Research faculty and programs in depth. Read faculty publications. Review program curricula carefully. Understand what makes each program distinctive. Move beyond surface impressions to genuine understanding. Begin contacting potential advisors, following the strategies we discussed in the previous video. This timing gives you several months to develop these relationships before applications are due. Don't rush these communications. Narrow your preliminary list to 8 to 12 serious candidates. You can't apply thoughtfully to 20 programs. Focus on programs that genuinely fit your goals, interests, and circumstances. Quality over quantity in applications. Identify your recommenders and make initial contact. Don't ask for letters yet, but gauge willingness and begin preparing them for formal requests. Share your plans and timeline. Strong recommenders appreciate advance notice. Phase 3 spans months 6 through 3 before deadlines. This is your active preparation phase. If standardized tests are required, ensure scores will be sent to your programs. Test score delivery takes time. Order score reports well before deadlines. If you haven't yet taken required tests, this phase must include testing with enough buffer for retakes if needed. Request official transcripts from all institutions you've attended. Some registrars are slow, and some applications require transcripts to arrive before deadlines. Don't let administrative delays derail your applications. Formally ask recommenders to write letters. This is when you make the official ask, provide your recommender packet, and confirm deadlines. Give them at least 6 weeks, preferably more. Rushed recommenders write weaker letters. Begin drafting your statement of purpose, not just thinking about it, but actually writing. First drafts are always rough. Starting now gives you time for multiple revisions that dramatically improve the final product. Phase 4 spans months 3 through 1 before deadlines. This is your intensive writing and refinement phase. Complete full drafts of your statement of purpose and begin revising. The first complete draft is just the beginning. Strong statements go through multiple revision cycles focusing on different aspects: structure, content, fit, polish. Get feedback from multiple readers and revise based on their input. Professors, mentors, career advisors, and thoughtful friends can all provide useful perspectives. Different readers catch different issues. Incorporate feedback selectively but seriously. Customize your statements for each program. This isn't just changing program names. Your fit section should be substantially different for each program, demonstrating specific knowledge of and connection to that program's faculty, resources, and opportunities. Update your CV or resume and verify every detail. Check dates, titles, and descriptions for accuracy. Ensure formatting is consistent. This document represents you. It should be perfect. Phase 5 is the final month before deadlines. This is your submission phase. Complete application forms for each program. Each program has its own portal, requirements, and idiosyncrasies. Allow time to navigate these systems and complete all required fields. Don't assume they're all the same. Verify that all components are submitted or in progress. Check that transcripts have been received. Confirm recommenders have submitted or have clear deadlines. Ensure test scores have been delivered. Missing components can invalidate otherwise strong applications. Send polite reminders to recommenders about a week before deadlines. Even committed recommenders get busy. A brief, courteous reminder protects your applications without being pushy. Submit before deadlines with buffer time. Don't submit at 11:58 p.m. the night of the deadline. Technical glitches happen. Aim to submit at least a few days early. Peace of mind is worth finishing ahead of schedule. Understanding deadline types helps you prioritize. Hard deadlines mean no applications accepted after the stated date and time. Miss this deadline and your application won't be reviewed. Period. Treat these with utmost seriousness. Priority deadlines indicate the date for full consideration and best funding chances. Applications after this date may be reviewed, but with reduced scholarship opportunities or lower admission priority. Meeting priority deadlines is strongly advisable. Rolling admissions means applications are reviewed as they arrive rather than in a batch after a deadline. Earlier submission generally provides advantages: more seats available, more funding, and demonstrated serious interest. Final deadlines in rolling systems indicate the last possible submission date, often after most seats and funding have been allocated. Submitting at final deadlines for rolling programs is risky. Know which type of deadline applies to each of your programs and plan accordingly. Different components have different lead times that must be factored into your planning. Test score delivery typically takes 4 to 6 weeks after you request score reports. Some testing organizations offer expedited delivery, but why pay extra when planning ahead costs nothing? Transcript processing varies by institution, but typically requires 2 to 4 weeks from request to delivery. Some schools are faster, some are much slower. Request early and follow up if needed. Recommendation letters need 6 to 8 weeks minimum, though more is better. Recommenders have their own schedules and priorities. Rushed letters are weaker letters. Respect their time with appropriate lead time. Your statement of purpose needs multiple weeks for quality drafting, writing, getting feedback, revising, customizing for each program, and polishing to perfection can't happen overnight. Budget at least 4 to 6 weeks of active work, more if possible. These lead times compound. If your deadline is December 1st and recommendations need 6 weeks, you're requesting in mid-October. That means identifying recommenders in late summer. Work backward from deadlines to understand when each component must begin. Create your personal timeline using this process. List all programs you're applying to with their specific deadlines. These may vary by several weeks or months across programs. You need a comprehensive view of what's due when. Identify your earliest deadline as your anchor point. If your earliest deadline is December 1st, that's the date your timeline builds toward. Everything must be ready for that first deadline. Later deadlines provide additional refinement time. Work backward to create a task timeline. If the deadline is December 1st, when must recommendations be requested? When must you begin drafting your statement? When should you start researching programs? Map each task to specific dates. Build in buffer time for unexpected delays. Life doesn't follow perfectly linear schedules. Illness, work demands, family obligations, and simple procrastination all disrupt plans. Build buffer into every stage. If you finish early, wonderful. If you need the buffer, you'll be grateful it exists. Put your timeline somewhere visible and refer to it regularly. Timeline without visibility becomes timeline without action. Let me give you a month-by-month calendar for a 12-month timeline. Months 12 through 11. Make your decision about graduate school. Do initial program research. Create your preliminary program list. This is your exploration phase. Months 10 through 9. Conduct deep research on programs. Read faculty publications. Begin contacting potential advisors at doctoral programs. Start narrowing your program list based on what you learn. Months 8 through 7. Finalize your program lists. Identify recommenders and make initial contact about your plans. Begin thinking about your statement of purpose, themes, and structure. Months 6 through 5. Request standardized test score reports be sent to your programs. Order official transcripts from all institutions. Formally ask recommenders for letters and provide supporting materials. Begin drafting your statement of purpose. This calendar assumes a December deadline. Adjust forward or backward based on your actual deadlines. Here's the final stretch of your timeline. Months 4 through 3. Complete full drafts of your statement of purpose. Share with feedback providers. Revise based on their input. This is intensive writing time. Month 2. Customize your statement for each program. The fit section should be substantially different for each application. Polish all materials to final quality. Proofread obsessively. Month 1. Complete and submit applications. Verify all components are received. Send recommender reminders. Submit before deadlines with buffer time. After deadlines, wait for decisions. If programs offer interviews, prepare thoroughly. Review your materials so you can discuss them confidently. Research programs deeply before any interviews. This timeline is aggressive but achievable. Starting late compresses everything and reduces quality. Starting on time or early gives you the space to produce your best work. Managing multiple deadlines requires systematic organization. Create a master spreadsheet tracking all programs, deadlines, components, and status. Include columns for program name, deadline, statement status, recommendation status, transcripts received, test scores sent, application form completed, color code by urgency and status, red for urgent, yellow for approaching, green for complete. Visual indicators help you see at a glance what needs attention. Work on earliest deadlines first, but use overlap efficiently. If two programs have deadlines a week apart, you're essentially preparing them simultaneously. Your core materials apply to both, only customization differs. For programs with later deadlines, use extra time wisely. Don't assume you can coast because the deadline is further away. Use additional time to strengthen applications, not to procrastinate. Later deadlines offer opportunity for refinement, not excuse for delay. Prepare for common timeline disruptors. Recommender delays or failures happen more often than you'd expect. Recommenders get busy, forget, or procrastinate. Build in reminder systems and buffer time. Have backup options identified in case someone truly fails to deliver. Transcript processing delays can catch applicants off guard. Some registrars are extremely slow, some lose requests. Order early, follow up, and don't assume transcripts will arrive just because you requested them. Life events disrupt the best plans. Illness, family emergencies, unexpected work demands, relationship problems, all can derail your timeline. This is why buffer matters. A timeline with no slack breaks under pressure. Technical problems with application systems occur at the worst times. Websites crash. Forms don't save. Upload limits cause problems. Don't submit at the last minute when technical problems can't be resolved. Early submission avoids these disasters. Expect some disruption and plan for it. Timelines that assume everything goes perfectly are fragile. Build resilience into your planning. Contingency planning prevents disasters. Identify backup recommenders in advance. If your primary recommender becomes unavailable or fails to submit, who could step in? Have this option ready so you're not scrambling in crisis mode. Keep digital copies of all materials in multiple locations. Cloud storage, local backup, email to yourself. If your computer crashes the week before deadlines, you need immediate access to your work. No program contacts for emergency issues. If something goes wrong, you need to reach someone quickly. Save admissions office phone numbers and emails. Don't assume you'll find contact information easily during a crisis. Build minimum 1-week buffer into all personal deadlines. If the deadline is December 1st, your personal deadline is November 24th. This buffer absorbs unexpected delays without threatening actual deadlines. Contingency planning isn't pessimism, it's professionalism. Mature applicants know things go wrong and prepare accordingly. Graduate school applications don't happen in a vacuum. They add significant work to already full lives. Acknowledge this reality and plan accordingly. Communicate with important people in your life. Let employers know if you'll need occasional flexibility. Help partners understand the time commitment. Tell friends why you might be less available. People can't support you if they don't know what you're facing. Schedule application work like appointments. Don't assume you'll find time. Block specific hours for application work and protect them. Treat these blocks as seriously as work meetings. Sporadic effort produces sporadic results. Protect your mental and physical health throughout the process. Application stress is real. Maintain exercise routines. Preserve sleep. Don't sacrifice wellness for applications. Burned out applicants produce weak applications. The application process is a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself for sustained effort over months, not frantic bursts followed by exhaustion. After submission, the waiting begins, but you're not done yet. Decision timelines vary significantly by program. Some notify within weeks, others take months. Understand typical timelines for your programs so you're not anxious unnecessarily. Many programs, especially doctoral programs, conduct interviews. If invited, prepare thoroughly. Review your application materials. Research the program deeply. Prepare thoughtful questions. Practice discussing your interests and goals. Continue professional development during the waiting period. Keep working, keep learning, keep growing. Admission decisions are partly based on your trajectory. Continued development strengthens your candidacy if you're waitlisted or need to reapply. Begin planning for potential admission. If admitted, you'll face decisions about offers, funding negotiations, relocation, and more. Thinking ahead helps you make better decisions when offers arrive. The post-submission period isn't passive waiting, it's active preparation for the next phase, whatever that looks like. Use tools to support your timeline management. Create or download a spreadsheet template for tracking all programs, components, and deadlines. Columns should include program name, deadline, statement status, recommendation status, transcripts, test scores, forms completed, and notes. Use calendar blocking to schedule dedicated application work sessions. Add these to your calendar as you would any important appointment. Visual blocking makes time real and protected. Set up reminder systems for deadline management. Calendar reminders, phone alerts, task management apps, whatever works for you. Don't rely on memory for critical deadlines. Memory fails under stress. Track progress to maintain momentum. Crossing items off a list or updating status provides psychological rewards that sustain effort over months. Make your progress visible to yourself. These tools don't do the work for you, but they create structure that helps you do the work consistently. Find systems that match how you operate and use them faithfully. Let's summarize the key principles for application timeline planning. Start 12 to 15 months before your intended enrollment for best outcomes. Earlier starts enable better research, stronger relationships with potential advisors, more refined materials, and less stress. Time is your friend. Work backward from your deadlines to create a task timeline. Understand lead times for each component. Map specific tasks to specific dates. Know what needs to happen when. Build buffer time into every stage. Things go wrong. Recommenders delay. Life intervenes. Timelines with no slack break under pressure. Buffer provides resilience. Use tracking systems to stay organized across multiple programs, components, and deadlines. Spreadsheets, calendars, reminders, and progress tracking keep everything visible and manageable. This completes Section A of our graduate school prep series. You now have the foundation for deciding whether graduate school is right for you, choosing the right program and degree type, and preparing strong applications. In Section B, we'll turn to funding your education, covering everything from scholarships to loans to budgeting strategies. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in Section B. Writing the thesis is a marathon, not a sprint, but you do not have to run it alone. If you are feeling stuck with your data or overwhelmed by your sources, let us help. Head over to subthesis.com. It is completely free and designed to make your life easier. You are making progress. Keep going. And don't forget to subscribe for more support.